What's going on, guys? It's Monday today and we're going to talk about the 70-200 Gmaster. As you would have seen in my previous video, I bought this thing super cheap from a second-hand shop in Auckland with the aim of using it, seeing if I liked it, probably not going to keep it, and you know, sell it and make a little bit of money on it. I have actually already sold it. I am sending it off today, but I did use it for a commercial shoot and I used it for a wedding. So I've got a pretty good idea on how it works and the performance of it. So let's jump into it, and hopefully by the end of the video you'll have a pretty good idea if it's something you're going to want to buy. Firstly, let's just talk about the weight, because obviously that's the biggest thing with this lens, and it is a heavy beast. For a 70-200, I would say it's about, you know, average for a 70-200. I think it's maybe a little bit heavier than my Tamron 70-200 when I was shooting on Nikon. But, you know, it's a big lens, it's super heavy, and compared to my 85mm, which I usually use at weddings, this is 85mm 1.4, so it is a big prime, but I usually use that for weddings, and it's a lot lighter, a lot smaller. You don't have to hang it from a mount because you're worried about the, you know, your camera mount buckling. Big lens, heavy lens, you need to be prepared to carry it around and just get used to it. It looks a lot smaller without the lens hood on, but you know, I usually use the lens hood just mostly for protection, like banging it against things, as you guys probably know from previous reviews. But build quality is solid, it's really nice. One thing that did surprise me, which I learned at the end of a wedding that I was using it at, is that it's actually mechanical, it's not fly-by-wire focus. So for video, that would be amazing. Really nice smooth focus ring, and being mechanical. So fly-by-wire lenses can be a little bit funny to manually focus, whereas this one's fine. I did notice that sometimes I had my thumb over the grip, so when I was focusing it wouldn't, I think like it overrides it and it wouldn't autofocus, so I had to remember to move my hand backwards more. I thought it was kind of playing out, but it was actually me just holding the focus ring with my thumb by mistake. Weight-wise, size-wise, huge no-go for me, and I already knew that before I bought it, so that's not a surprise to me. And chances are, if you're looking at a 70-200, you already know that fact. So moving on to speed and reliability. Focus speed on this thing is insane. It's the fastest tracking lens that I think I've ever used. When I was shooting the girls walking down the aisle, it was really fast, never missed a shot. Eye focus works flawless. So again, not very scientific, but as far as speed goes, it's faster than any other lens that I have. Crazy fast and reliable autofocus. So moving on to optical quality, I gotta say, this surprised me. It is just, I shot it at 2.8 all day, I never stopped it down, and it is just insanely good. It's very, very sharp where it needs to be, but it still renders skin nicely. A lot of lenses are so sharp that they kind of just screw up the skin and you have too much detail. But I noticed that this one, you know, when you're focused on an eye, it, you know, it's crazy sharp. It's just an amazing lens optically. I couldn't see any chromatic aberration at all from the images that I looked at. And yeah, sharpness, everything, like handles highlights really well, really contrasty, and the colors are really beautiful. Image quality, no complaints at all. I'd give it a solid 9, 10 out of 10, I reckon. You can easily shoot this at 2.8 and not worry about focusing or, like, you know, it being soft wide open. It's just crazy sharp. So yeah, optical quality, big thumbs up, amazing lens. Surprised me actually. I knew it would be good, but I didn't think it would be that good. It's a lot of the photos I looked at when I zoomed into 100% to check focus on eyeballs and things like that, I was just like, wow, this thing is sharp. I've already talked about build quality, but the one feature this lens does is it has these these custom buttons, so you can program these. They're all around the lens except for the bright side, which obviously is pointless having there anyway, but you've got 3 buttons here which you can program. I had it programmed to eye focus, which was really handy, so you can hold the camera, not worry about your back button, and just be focusing on eyes with the buttons here. That was really cool. So you do also have these functions down here, so you've got AF, MF, and then you can change your focus, so it's to full or a minimum 3 meters, which can be handy if you don't want it to be hunting. I never had that problem anyway. steady shot. You've got 2 modes here. I believe one's for like sports tracking and things like that. I just had it on 1 all day, and I'll tell you, the stabilization in this thing is, again, better than any other lens that I've seen. Video panning, I tried a couple of clips just panning along with video, and the stabilization was just crazy. Like, it looked like it was on a tripod. So I paired up with the A7R3. This isn't a fact, I'm pretty sure it's correct, but I believe when you pair this lens up with the Sony camera, it uses 2 axis of stabilization from the body and 3 from the lens. So you don't get like double the stabilization. It just kind of pairs it all up, but it works crazy. It's so good. Definitely hand holdable for video, and yeah, really nice. Obviously this one is fully weather sealed, so it has the little rubber gasket around the edge there, and you know, all the rings and stuff are sealed. It didn't rain on me, so I can't confirm whether it had problems. Solidly built, really nice quality weather sealed lens. As far as it goes for negatives, I don't like the lens. Not because it's not a nice lens, I just don't like it because I feel, you know, when I was doing the headshots and when I was doing the weddings, I felt there's no situation that I couldn't do with my 85. So especially with the headshots, the 85 was fine. I found myself usually, you know, I was at about 100, 130 mil with this one when I was doing the headshots. I'd have to stand so far back at 200 to get a sort of torso up headshot that it just wasn't really practical. And at the wedding, I found I was going way further back and just kind of sniping moments rather than where I would normally stand with my 85, which isn't that far back, and you know, doing it from there. Also with the A7R3s, you can put it in APS-C mode and it turns it into like a 135mm f2.8 or something, and it crops the pixels down to about 20 megapixels, I believe, or 18, which is heaps for weddings. I can't see any reason why I would need this lens. Like I said, amazing lens, really, really high quality. Optical quality is flawless, build quality is flawless. I can't think of anything to complain about, you know, specific to the lens. It's just that I don't like it, and it's not something that I would use. So there's no point in me having it, you know what I mean? I don't think there's any point in having gear around just to have it. If you were like a sports shooter, definitely. Events, yeah, for sure. Anything where you needed that kind of zoom range and the speed that this lens has, this, you know, you can't go past it. If you want a 70 to 200, buy this one. It's crazy. It's so good. I have tried out the 70 to 200 f4, the non-Gmaster one. That's also a really bloody good lens. Didn't really have any complaints with that either. Obviously it's f4. You know, in terms of speed and image quality, the f4 version's amazing, and it's a lot lighter and a lot smaller. Another thing to note was I used it in a couple of low light situations, and the difference between 1.4 and 2.8 in low light is massive. So just for example's sake, if I'm at about 1600 ISO at 1.4 with a shutter speed of 2/50th in a really low light situation, the 85 1600 ISO is fine with the 85. But when you jump to the 2.8, it goes from 1600 to like 6400 quite fast. You know, you can't really drop it below 6400 ISO, whereas at 1600 with the other one. Now that's a pretty big deal when you're doing like speeches in low light and stuff. So it's something to keep in mind. If you shoot in low light a lot, you're going to be at real high ISOs with this one, as opposed to like an 85mm or a 135mm f2 even. So overall thoughts, crazy image quality, really nice build quality, no complaints at all other than the fact that it's too big and I don't need it. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll chuck up a couple of image samples now. If there's anything else you want to know about this lens that I've missed, let me know in the comments. Subscribe to my channel, tick the little notification box, and I really appreciate you guys being watching my channel. It's growing a lot, and it's been really exciting and fun to do. So I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. I'm meeting up with a bunch of photographers again. I'm going to take my camera with me, so I'll do a little video on that, and we'll chat to some other people. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.